Hello and welcome back to Red Gaming Tech for yet more of your daily gaming news with myself, Martha. Today is the 15th of October and this time I'm bringing you something to do with Mass Effect 4, as BioWare has suggested that the next entry in the rather popular franchise will not be relating to any events in the existing Commander Shepard lead story. Now, this was from Mass Effect 3 lead writer Mac Walters when he was speaking to Complex, and he explained that BioWare is now pretty keen for the series to move on from Commander Shepard's story, and he said, quote, "Well, I can't get into details, but the idea is that we have agreed to tell a story that doesn't relate necessarily to any of Shepard's events at all whatsoever. That's what we've been deciding for a while, but throughout it all, one of the key things is this has to be Mass Effect. It can't feel like a spin-off. It has to feel like a Mass Effect game at its heart, at its core. Just without the Shepard character or the Shepard-specific companions." Now, details on the new Mass Effect game are pretty thin on the ground even now, and BioWare still hasn't stated whether or not the plot of the game will be set before or after Shepard's fight against the Reapers. Now, one way of navigating the game's confusion regarding the endings might be to set a future installment long after Shepard's final decision of the existing trilogy, a finale that BioWare is still admitting is rather controversial. And he said, quote, "It's been 18 to 19 months since it came out, and my thoughts on it that we addressed it the best we could in the extended cut. We're obviously not going to be changing anything now. We're only going to be going forward. To be fair, I get people, especially at the conventions, who will say, 'I loved it, it was heart-wrenching, but I felt it was right for my Shepard.' And to me, that's why it was the right path. But because there was no choice, it was going to be right for some people and for others in the middle, and other people were obviously very upset about it. In hindsight, I don't think there was anything we could have changed about that, but it is a very good lesson to be learned." And BioWare has previously hinted that the next Mass Effect game will be different enough from what's going before, saying that calling it Mass Effect 4 would be a disservice, and of course is currently in development at their Montreal studio. So it seems like they may have learned their lessons after the outcry of the Mass Effect 3 ending. It wasn't exactly what I call a popular ending, to say the least. The internet outcry regarding the ending was quite loud for quite some time, and of course once they released the extended cut it did quiet down a little bit, but of course there were still a fair few people that were dissatisfied with the ending. Now, I do think that the right decision is to move Mass Effect 4 away from Shepard's storyline is the right idea, and to just maybe reference it casually, like make reference to what happened or what is happening if it's set around the same time. It depends, of course. Then that's fine. That, I think, would kind of wipe the slate clean, but also, of course, just further emphasize, yes, this is the same world, it's X time after it happened. Now, the best way would be to reset, quote unquote, would be, of course, to set it far ahead of the Mass Effect 3 storyline and basically show the long-standing repercussions of the decision that was made at the end of Mass Effect 3. Of course, this is all pure speculation. We pretty much don't know anything about the next Mass Effect game other than it's not going to be about Shepard. It's going to be quite a little bit different from what we've seen previously, and they've learned their lessons from the ending, and we most likely won't be seeing another controversial ending like that from BioWare. So I'd be curious to hear your thoughts though as to what you would like to see in the next Mass Effect game. When would you like it to be set? Would it be before, after, during? Take your pick. What kind of gameplay elements, what kind of new ideas would you like to see them bring in to this new installment? Anyway, that is me done for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.